Did you know that the power of the American passport has quietly dropped in the global rankings? In 2023, it was surpassed by not just one, but six other countries. Remember when being an American abroad meant VIP treatment, smiles, and maybe a free drink at the bar? Yeah, those days are fading like a Polaroid in the sun. What if I told you that in some places, Americans are now being side-eyed, delayed at the custom, charged hidden fees, or even turned away? From visa crackdowns to the rising anti-Western sentiment, there's a quiet shift happening. And if you are planning your next trip, you will definitely want to know where and why. So buckle up, smash that like button and subscribe for travel tips you don't know you needed. Because what you don't know can ruin your vacation. Let's dive into 15 countries where being an American isn't what it used to be. If you walk into a Paris cafe and shout Gacon and ask for an iced caramel macchiato, congrats, you've just committed a cultural manslaughter. Love-hate in the city of lights. France, the land of croissants, wine and passive-aggressive glare if your French accent sound like Google Translate. After the pandemic, a new tourism code of conduct emerged. Rude tourists, especially loud ones, are being publicly called out. In 2024, some Paris cafes even introduced foreign surcharges. Imagine paying extra just because you asked for ketchup with your steak. That's French felony. I advise you brush up on your basic French phrases. A simple bonjour goes further than your TSA pre-check. And keep your voice down, you are not on TikTok Live. Number 2 is Japan, the polite cold shoulder. When the old lady in Kyoto silently hands you a pamphlet titled How Not to Be Annoying, just smile, bow, and take the hint. She's basically your travel Yoda. Japan is a cultural gym, punctual trains, vending machines for everything, and yes, impeccable manners. In recent years, over-tourism zones in the Kyoto and Osaka started discouraging foreigners from entering certain neighborhoods. American influencers filming samurai sword fights in sacred temples? Big no. When you are being followed by a grandma with a broom, it's not a new anime plot. You are just in the wrong spot. I advise you to respect local customs. Avoid filming locals without their permission. And seriously, don't eat while walking. Number 3 is Mexico. From fiesta to frustration. If your Airbnb has 3 infinity pools and costs more than the local minimum wage in a month, you might be part of the problem, amigo. Mexico has long been a weekend escape for Americans. But now, locals in places like Mexico City and Tulum are saying, not like this. Mass gentrification, digital nomads pricing out locals, and tourists ignoring cultural etiquette are stirring tensions. Some areas have begun rejecting short-term rentals altogether. If you treat Mexico like a frat party, don't be surprised when the fiesta ends early. I advise you to support local businesses, skip the tourist traps, and yes, learn a bit of Spanish. Gracias is your golden key. Number 4 is Thailand. Smiles with conditions. Do yourself a favor. If you can't tell the difference between a temple and a nightclub, maybe just skip Thailand and try Las Vegas instead. Thailand is famously the land of smiles, but for some Americans, those smiles are getting tighter. Since reopening post-COVID, Thailand has cracked down on visa overstays and disrespectful tourists. In 2023, multiple influencers were deported for nudity at temples. Oops! It's not eat, pray, and twerk. Keep it together, Karen. I advise you to respect sacred spaces, follow visa rules, and remember, Thai customs are polite, not permissive. Number 5 is Germany. Precision and perception. If you show up late to a dinner in Munich and joke about German time, they won't laugh. You will just be served last and cold. Germany love orders. So when Americans roll in with their YOLO energy and demand ranch dressing, is always a clash. Recent studies show Germans rank Americans as some of the least culturally sensitive travelers. Plus, political tensions are making US policies less popular. Yelling at a Berlin barista for almond milk? You are the reason why there is no American subreddit. I advise you to be punctual, be polite, and read the room, especially if that room is full of quiet locals on a train. Number 6 is Turkey, where politics meets the souk. When the carpet vendor gives you a dirty look before you start haggling, you know the diplomatic vibes are off. Turkey is a fusion of East and the West. but lately it's been more wary of the West, especially US travelers. Diplomatic tensions and regional conflicts have led to stricter visa scrutiny. Americans report longer custom wait and extra questioning. If your Turkish delight gets delayed, it might be your passport, not the pastry. I advise you stay informed on current events, dress conservatively in religious areas, and skip political debate with your cab driver. Number 7 is Brazil. Carnival or caution? If you think blending in means wearing a feather headdress and dancing through Rio yelling, Hola, you might want to stay home and watch Netflix. Brazil is big, bold, and beautiful, but also battling political shifts and economic strains. The US tourists now face tougher visa policies, reinstated after years of leniency. There's also rising resentment towards wealthy foreign travelers, especially in poorer areas. If you show up in head to toe Gucci, like my friend Mirna, at a favela tour, that's not immersion, it's Instagram tourism gone wrong. I advise you to dress modestly, blend in, and understand your surroundings. Brazil is warm, but don't expect red carpet. Number 8 is China. The silent freeze. The only thing colder than the Great Wall of China in the winter is your hotel receptionist there. When you ask, do you guys use Google Maps here? China relationship with the US? Let's just say it's complicated. Post-COVID and post-political tensions, America faced tight surveillance, limited access to maps or apps, and increased hotel restrictions. Imagine explaining TikTok bans in the country that invented TikTok. I advise you to use a VPN, keep political opinions to yourself, and follow local laws to the letter. Number 9 is Greece. Islands in revolt. If you climb on someone's roof in Santorini to get the perfect Instagram shot, expect a stand Greek grandma and maybe a sandal to your head. The Greek islands are dreamy, but for locals, American travelers are becoming a bit nightmarish. Over tourism has led to strict limits on daily visitors in places like Santorini. Locals are fighting back against Airbnb takeover and public drunkenness. You are not in a sequel to Mamma Mia. This is real life, and someone lives under that Airbnb you trashed. I advise you to visit lesser known islands, travel off seasons, and remember, not every beach is for boozy beach party. Number 10 is Spain. From siesta to please leave it. If you are dancing in the streets at 3 a.m. with a plastic sangria cup and a sombrero, congrats, you are YGL's noise ordinance now. Spain loves tourists, but in moderation. But now, American travelers are getting caught in a backlash. In 2024, Barcelona passed new restrictions on tourist groups. Loud Americans, especially bachelor parties, are the top complaints among locals. You came for tapas but ended up in a town hall example. That's awkward. I advise you to travel respectfully, limit group sizes, and don't shout YOLO near a centuries old cathedral. Number 11 is Italy. Pasta, passion, and patience wearing teen. You came for the vibes, but left banned from a trattoria because you ordered spaghetti with chicken. Italy's charm is legendary. Mama's cooking, Vespa ride, dramatic hand gesture. But lately, tourists, especially loud demanding ones, are wearing out their welcome. In 2024, Venice started charging entry fees for day trippers. Some locals have begun protesting mass tourism. And yes, yelling Mamma Mia in public now gets you a look, not a laugh. I advise you to book ahead. Respect heritage sites. Don't sit on ancient fountains. And remember, Italy isn't theme park. It's home to real people with expression-based expectation. If your ideas of cultural immersion is chugging limoncello and shouting, Das amore. In Naples, don't be shocked if you end up in someone's non-scolding crosshairs. Number 12 is United Kingdom. Tea, tolerance, and travel tension. If you find yourself getting side-eyed by 5 pensioners in a tea shop, congrats, you've just offended an entire village without even realizing it. The Brits love politeness and passive aggression, which is why they won't tell you you are being annoying, but you will feel it. Since Brexit, border squeals for non-EU travelers, especially Americans, have gotten longer. Also, attitudes toward loud and entitled visitors have been increasingly vocal online forums and local pubs. You are not in Hogwarts, my love. Don't try a fake accent ever. I advise you queue properly. Seriously, don't cut in lines. And for the love of all things Earl Grey, never ask why the Queen's not on the money anymore. Number 13 is Indonesia, a paradise with a warming sign. If you are wearing a feathered hat, barefoot, and live streaming from a rice paddy, locals aren't impressed about that. They are just wondering how you survive TSA. Bali may look like a screensaver, but the island is reaching its breaking point with misbehaving tourists, especially Americans who treat it like Coachella with coconuts. New rules in 2023 ban foreigners from renting scooters without a proper license. Also, nudity at temples and disrespect for sacred spaces has led to actual deportation. Just because you did yoga once doesn't mean you get to on someone's shrine. I advise you to dress modestly. Skip the drones in spiritual spots and remember to eat, pray, leave it better than you found it. Number 14 is United Arab Emirates, where glamour meets guardrails. If you think twerking on a luxury yacht is harmless fun, and you may find yourself explaining it to an immigration officer with a clipboard and zero chill, Dubai is where everything is bigger, shinier, and Instagram ready. But don't let the glam fool you. This place plays by very different rules. Americans have been arrested for social media posts deemed offensive, public instigations, and PDA. Why tourism is booming, there's zero tolerance for disrespecting cultural norms. This isn't Vegas. What happens in Dubai will follow you home via international law. I advise you to avoid public display of affection. Watch your social posts and dress like you are meeting your significant other's very conservative family. Number 15 is Canada. If the border agent says enjoy your stay but does it without smiling, you are already on thin ice, buddy. And it's Canada. That ice is everywhere. Canada, land of hockey, apologies, and Tim Hortons. But even the nicest neighbor eventually closes their blinds. Canadians have expressed growing frustration over rude American tourists, especially those ignoring COVID era rules, mocking French speaking locals in Quebec, or treating the place like American light. Just because they say sorry doesn't mean they really like you. I advise you to brush up on your basic etiquette. If you are in Quebec, don't roll your eyes at French menus and stop asking where the meals are. So, there you have it, 15 countries where the American welcome mat is starting to fade. Some still love us, but the message is clear. The golden passport doesn't come with a free pass to be clueless anymore. Imagine standing at the gate of your dream destination and getting the slow head shake, not because of your intentions, but because of your reputation. Be curious, be kind, and if you are in doubt, just don't be that guy. Like this video, hit that like button. Want more brutally honest travel tips? Then you have to subscribe. Got a country you've been side-eyed before? Drop it in the comment section. We want your horror stories.